Microsoft once made money the same way a car dealer does. Then they realized the real profit was in the lease. In the 1980s and early 1990s, Microsoft's business model was straightforward. You bought a copy of Windows or Office, you owned it, you installed it once. The company collected the cash upfront, then moved on to the next customer. But here's the trick, that model had a ceiling. Once everyone who could afford software had bought it, growth stalled. The installed base was finite. So what changed? Enterprise customers started asking for something different, not a perpetual license you owned outright, but a renewable agreement. Software Assurance launched in 2001, a program that let companies pay an annual fee for continuous updates and support. The cash didn't arrive in one lump sum anymore. It arrived in predictable annual tranches. That's not a product sale. That's a subscription. By the mid-2000s, Microsoft realized something even more valuable. Enterprises didn't want to manage software licenses at all. They wanted a partner who handled the infrastructure. That's when the company began shifting toward cloud-based solutions and hosted services. Not just Office, but Office 365, Azure Dynamics, not a purchase, a monthly bill. Here's where the accounting gets interesting. A perpetual license generates revenue once. A subscription generates revenue annually, sometimes for decades. The lifetime value of a single customer explodes. Microsoft's recurring revenue, what analysts call SaaS revenue, grew from almost nothing in 2010 to over $60 billion by the early 2020s. The product hadn't changed. The payment structure had. But subscriptions only work if you lock customers in. And here's the trick, Microsoft bundled. They didn't just sell you Exchange email or SharePoint collaboration. They bundled them into Microsoft 365, then into enterprise agreements that required 3 or 5 year commitments. Switching costs became astronomical. You were no longer buying software. You were building infrastructure dependency. By the 2010s, the company had completed its transformation. The old licensing model, sell once, collect once, had become almost quaint. The new model was recurring, bundled, and locked into multi-year agreements. A Fortune 500 company couldn't extract itself without retraining thousands of employees and rebuilding entire systems. That's not a licensing strategy. That's institutional capture. So the answer is this: Microsoft didn't evolve its licensing strategy because the accountants got smarter. They did it because recurring revenue is worth exponentially more than one-time sales. A subscription model transforms a customer into a permanent revenue stream, and once you've built that machine, the profit margins compound year after year. That's where the real money went. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research. If you want to understand how the world's most durable companies actually make their money, not what they say, but where the cash actually flows, subscribe. We decode one strategic pivot every week. Subscribe, we decode one strategic business pivot every week. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice.